hole for you guys.
On this week's episode, we got the opportunity to head out to sea and find out what it was like to work as a cray fisherman for the day. Reese says he often gets a visitor at the boat ramp in the mornings, so I was pretty keen to get down there and have a look what he was talking about.
Come on buddy, come over here.
This dude's name is Flobby. He's been hanging around for years, and apparently is named after one of the locals in the Port Macdonald area. The day before, we had to move the boat from one mooring to the next, and lay out the traps for tomorrow's catch. Then, it was up early for a day's worth of fishing. These guys start the day a few hours before sunrise, heading out in all sorts of conditions. When they pull the pots in, they have to measure the crayfish to make sure they're within the legal length, and also to check that they're not female with a clutch of eggs, as they have to put these ones back straight away in the water.
Big sucker, yes. All good. Crazy, eh?
Put out 200,000 or 300,000 in there, I reckon.
Nice. Yeah. Look at the big sucker.
The Australian rock lobster fisheries were one of the first in the world to adopt a limited entry, which limits the number of commercial rock lobster fishers, the number of boats, and the total number of pots in the fishery, and are one of the most highly managed fisheries in the world.
You're game, bud. You'll get ya.
Sometimes other critters can be found in the pots, but I was told this doesn't happen too often, and they return to the sea pretty quickly.
Hey? You don't want to. Yeah, I got him. Like ya. Up higher.
it was time to turn the boat around and head back home. It was a really cool experience to get out in the ocean and see how commercial crayfishing works. To be honest though, me and Zebby have the most fun when we're out there catching them for ourselves. There's just something about hunting your own food. It has the ability to connect you back to nature and makes you really appreciate all that you have. A few years ago we spent quite a bit of time in the Mount Gambier area visiting friends, and we ended up working there for a while. So on my morning runs, I actually noticed something that really got under my skin. I couldn't help but notice that there was rubbish everywhere along the beach. So I'd get up, go for a run, and there'd just be rope and plastics everywhere. I couldn't help it, I had to do something about it. So I organised a beach cleanup, and man did we find some rubbish. The thing was though, we filled 2 trailer loads, and that wasn't even the beginning of the amount of rubbish we found. So if you're ever in the Neem Valley area, feel free to just wander along, pick up some as you're strolling along the beach. Any little effort will help.
Take the sand off, we don't want to be taking the beach with us.
The ocean can get pretty wild down south, with big currents running mostly from west to east, so I think this is much more than local rubbish. However, we did find a lot of ropes and these long lines of plastic, which I'm pretty sure are a part of the cray pots in the area. So any pots that get lost end up getting dismantled and buried in the beach. It makes me so sad. Maybe they can go back to using the cane pots that they used to. I know they probably cost more and wouldn't last as long, but at least they would eventually biodegrade and not have such a negative effect on the environment.
Hey buddy.
Our efforts of the day didn't go unnoticed though. These 2 cuties were more than happy to go for a run around on a nice clean beach.
I'm on the beach.
Clean cleanup.
Yay!
Clean cleanup. I meant to say
Team cleanup.
team cleanup. Smash that shit.
Yeah.
Skinny.
What's the dog?
Don't crash.
That's a pitchy.
Next week we start our adventure towards Western Australia. And of course we got distracted by the first 4-wheel drive track we came across. Love a good adventure. You know what to do, legends. Like and subscribe for more.